Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Idee Charles, and this is the health gospel where we talk about our lives, our health, and what concerns us as human beings. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, do so by clicking on that link. Like the channel, and so you can get notifications of all our videos as it comes out. So today I'm going to be talking about something very important that most of us, especially from the part of the world I come from, Africa, Nigeria to be specific. I want to talk about something that most of us are afraid to talk about. Most of us don't want to realize it or believe it. Death. We can die, and death is inevitable, meaning any one of us as a human being can die. Death is an unavoidable end of a life cycle. We here, as we are human beings, we have a life cycle, and that end of it is death. If any of us, if we as a people come to this understanding of mortality, if we come to this understanding that we are on this earth not permanently, that one day it will end, and when it ends, nobody goes with nothing. It can end as an illness, terminal illness. You can end this life maybe through accident. You can end this life as a sudden death, just you lie and you sleep and you don't wake up. Everybody has an exit point. The exit point doesn't matter. It can be anything, but every one of us will exit this earth. If you come to that understanding, you will live your life as if this life can go anytime. Death is unavoidable, inevitable. Why then do you acquire and gather so much that you don't even need? Your children would not use it, or your grandchildren. You've gathered so much that even your fourth generation would not lack. You are still gathering. How on earth would you build and continue to build mansions, big auditoriums and churches all over the place, when on the same street you have people who are hungry, who are homeless, who are desperate, who are poor, like poverty defines them? How on earth will you drive your car and you're still acquiring 7, 8, 9 fleets of car, that when you're moving from one point to another, you are going in a convoy? Why on earth will you live your life as if death, you have control over it? Death is unavoidable, inevitable. Any of us can die. We can take care of our body as we like. We can be very cautious. We can take all the health precautions. But I am telling you today that every one of us will die someday. And when you die, you have a grave. That's where they bury you. Highest they will do is buy you a coffin or buy you a casket and make your grave beautiful. But you're still going down the soil. And you know what? You will decay. Your body will decay. You know what? Other things like plants will use your decayed body as manure to feed themselves, to grow. Insects will feed on your decayed body because it has become food for them. That is what you are. That is what I am. We would die, we would decay. Some people are cremated, meaning they burn them to ashes. That is what remains of you and I. So you better begin to understand that the life you are living, the life that we are living, will go anytime. We will exit it anytime. This body will become manure. This body will decay. Why are you acquiring so much? Why are you holding on to so much without giving out, without helping, without being human? Why do you want to build auditoriums upon auditoriums just to pack people in there who are hungry, helpless, tired, exhausted, hopeless? Just to show that I've got the biggest auditorium in West Africa or in Africa. And so what? You will still die. A billionaire will die. A millionaire will die. A poor person will die. Every one of us will die. Why don't you accept your mortality? Why don't you come to understand life as it is? Why can't you understand that what matters is the life that me and you affect? Is the legacy that we leave when we die. Is what we will be remembered for. It's not all this your big auditoriums that you call churches. It's not all these things you're acquiring, 20 cars, 100 buildings, I've got properties scattered everywhere, and so what? Why is it in Africa, all we think about is acquiring? Don't you think it's a mental health illness that you always feel insufficient? You feel you've not got enough. You feel inadequate. So you have to keep acquiring, and forgetting your neighbor, your brothers, your sisters on this earth. Why would you be acquiring things if you're not abnormal? Only abnormal people feel, you always feel inadequate, incomplete, so I have to keep acquiring. I have to get the biggest car. I've got to get the biggest church. My church has to get the biggest members. All this acquiring at the expense of humanity, at the expense of helping one another. We're acquiring, and this is gone through even in the families, relationship with every one of us. All interested in acquiring. This is for me. I want to have. All about me. Life is not permanent. Any of us will die. Begin to embrace your mortality. Begin to say to yourself, I can die anytime. I can die anytime. Life is short. I can die anytime. Nobody dies with private jet gone in the grave with them. Nobody dies with all your properties. People will take them. Either you buy them and spread them all over the nation, all over Africa. When you die, all those properties. Look at Mugabe. What are they using? All these big houses they built. Have they not become like abandoned properties? Why can't you learn from your predecessors? Why can't you learn from history? Why can't you be human and say, look, there is no point acquiring all these things. You can die anytime. Any one of us, from the biggest to the smallest. Death does not have class. Death does not have group. Death does not have political alliance or party. Death can happen to anybody. Anybody. And when you die, you are not going with anything. In economics, they talk about the basic needs of human beings. Food, shelter, clothing. Food, basic food. Shelter, basic shelter. Something you're comfortable with. Food, shelter, clothing. That you have clothes to cover your body. What else do you really need? How many rooms do you sleep at? How many beds do you sleep at night? How many cars can you drive at a time? How many houses can you live at one time? I know you need to make investment for your future, but not at the expense of humanity. That you want to build auditoriums and mansions in a town, in a place where all your neighbors are poor. They are begging. They are very poor. I'm not talking about just being poor today. I mean living below poverty line. But you are happy to be driving and doing King Kong in the neighborhood. How do you live like this? When death can happen to you anytime. Life is short. Death is inevitable, is unavoidable. Every one of us will die. The best thing to start doing is to start living your life as if your life will go soon. Nobody knows the day Start living your life that you'll be remembered for good. And the only good is loving humanity, doing good for people, supporting people, raising people up, and not building auditoriums and mansions and building big churches from one big one to another. Who is it helping? Look at Nigeria as a case study. All these churches all over the place. There is poverty. There is hopelessness. There is no job. People are hungry. What are these churches doing for them? Nothing. If you have used these monies to build resource centers, to build like little factories or little companies where people can come and work and make earnings monthly, will that not help humanity better? If you have changed these places to classes, to places where people come in and learn trade and learn skills, if you had made this sort of venues available where people can come and learn different things, technology, education, reading books, library, will it not be better for our society? How do you build these sort of buildings and people just come in, they sing choruses, you preach your preaching, and they go and you lock the doors? How do you sleep? How do you think that this is what you should be doing with all the monies you have, that you can help as many people as you can? Whether you worship in your house or in just a comfortable place, and you use all your resources to see how people can be empowered, how people can become financially independent. Don't you think that humanity comes first? Well, I've come to remind you today that death is inevitable. Every one of us will die. Whether you pray, what God cannot do does not exist. Whether you fast 30 days on the mountain, when your time is up, you are dead, gone. Whether you say you're drinking tea with God or with Satan, or you're always mixing with the angels, you are a human being. When your time is up, you are gone. Whether you have all the money and you're going for the best medical care, my dear, when your time is up, you are gone. You better start accepting mortality. You better start accepting that any one of us will die. And when you accept that, you will start living your life as a human being, seeing other people, seeing the needs of other people. And if you are privileged, you help them, because that's the only legacy that you will leave on this earth, what you will be remembered for. I hope this helps somebody rethink, analyze, and sit down and really reason with me on this topic. Accepting your mortality. I will die. You will die. What will I be remembered for? All those properties will be scrambled. People will sell them. People will take over them. That is what it will be. It has always been. That is the cycle. That is the cycle. When you acquire all these properties and wealth at the expense of human life and human being and being human, when you die, all those things are so. Your name won't even be remembered. But when you affect people, when your life is affecting people directly, these are the people that will make your name will remain from generations to generations, that this person stood for this. This person fought against poverty. This person fought against homelessness. This person fought against human rights. This person stood. What are you standing for? Tithes, offering, big auditorium. I have the largest auditorium in Africa. That is no legacy. That is no legacy. I have 150 billion in the account. I'm a rich man. That is no legacy. Driving big cars. That is no legacy. Living in 20 houses scattered across the nation. That is no legacy. Legacy is what you will be remembered for. Tangible things. And it's got to be related to affecting human lives. Human lives, not properties. Because life is short and death is inevitable. Every one of us will die. Politician, teacher, doctor, nurses, governors, presidents, pastors, general overseers, every one of us, poor people, fishermen, traders, market women, every one of us. Somebody will die. Even as I speak, somebody's dying. Tomorrow, some more people, every day, there is an exit from this earth. Your turn is coming. And when you die, you're going down the grave, buried, decayed. That is all that remains of you. So start thinking what you do for humanity, not what I can acquire when I'm alive. Thank you so much. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Don't miss the next video. Subscribe and like our channel. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. I remain Dr. Idee Charles. Bye for now.